Hello, Collective. Welcome to my channel, Divine Nudges. For those of you who are new to the channel is new as well, so thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. Collective, today's messages are channeled. This is less of a tarot or oracle reading and more of a channeled message. Here I have a card. This is a self-made deck, all inspired by messages that the universe has communicated to me on social media and anywhere else that I get these messages where I pick them up. And it says here, I have my little Duracell holding up the card for you all to see. It says here, nobody did brujeria on you. You just make terrible decisions. Collective, this is what today's messages are all about. Some of you don't know how to recognize what spiritual and divine protection actually looks like, feels like, sounds like. And that's what the divine would like to talk to you about today. Because the divine is working with you, and a lot of you feel like the divine has forsaken you, that the divine is not answering your prayers. But every attempt that the divine makes is ignored by you, it's thwarted by you. You actually sabotage all of the divine's attempts to protect you, to save you, and to answer your prayers. And a lot of it has to do with not understanding the battle between your flesh and your soul. What you feel, what you know to be true. And most importantly, not honoring your intuition in such a way where the more you pay attention to it, the stronger it grows and the stronger the connection between you and the divine. I always say that the universe speaks in threes. In other words, if you get the same message via a song, a social media post, a friend or a coworker, if you get the same message three times, that is the universe speaking. However, me personally, once I see a message twice, it has my full-fledged attention. And now I'm just waiting for the third prompt because I know how the universe communicates with me. And so a lot of you, your intuition has spoken to you in many ways, synchronicities, angel numbers, friends, family members, whomever. Do you understand that the divine can use anyone? Your enemy can become your footstool. Your enemy may say something that triggers an intuitive download that you've already received, and it is absolutely intended to get your attention for one reason or another. Are you being told to take action on everything? No, but to observe and to check in with yourself, your higher vibration, the divine, and ask for clarity around the messages that you're getting so that you know whether or not you should be taking action on something, including detachment, falling back, separation. A lot of you fight it. You hear a word from a friend or a family member and you're like, no, 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 no. Well, I know because, here's an example. Here's what I can think of. Brand new building, state of the art sprinkler fire system in it. It's been bragged and boasted about along with all of the other features in the building. Someone comes to you and says, oh, I had a dream that that building is going to burn. Don't go in there. And you're like, no, I was on the developing team, and we built the plans and we built the specs and we used state of the art materials, and I was there. I know, even if the building did catch on fire, it's designed to put it out immediately. Again, this is just an example. This may be an exaggeration, but just stick with me, stay with me here. Okay, so now you go into the building and guess what? The developers, the engineers, the builders didn't take something into account. They missed something, they overlooked something. They did think that it was foolproof, fireproof, if you will, but they missed something. You went into the building, it burned. You survived, yay! But you survived with third-degree burns. See, a lot of you don't understand that God's protection is meant to keep you from the harm. It is meant to prevent you from actually experiencing the damage that can be done in a certain situation. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a trip, whatever. His protection, God's protection, their protection is designed to protect you from the actual harm. Because now, even though you've survived the fire, you have third-degree burns and you have a whole journey of healing that just took you off your intended path. You were meant to go from A to B. And now you have to go from A to D to E to F, back to C, and then maybe you'll end up at B if you're lucky. Because a lot of the wounds, a lot of the harms aren't just physical, it's also spiritual and mental, it's traumatic. And sometimes trauma is harder to come back from than actual physical pain and physical harm. The divine can see hundreds of thousands of gazillions of miles down the road. And the divine is fulfilling its purpose, but you have to meet the divine halfway. A lot of people are so, I do tarot readings. I do them for all the zodiac signs. I love astrology. I've been a lover of the occult since I was a child. Okay, so this is something, it's my pleasure to serve humanity in this way. What I realize is a lot of people are interested in, oh, this love and, the new love and the ex love and, getting married and, all of these things that a lot of people aren't even prepared for. Why? Because a lot of the times, the protection that you're receiving in the form of counsel from experience, the consequences that are reflected back to you from your actions. It says here, nobody did brujeria on you. You just make terrible decisions. No one is taking the time to understand. People aren't taking the time to understand, why am I making these decisions? I posted a shadow reading video on my channel about identifying how your trauma can allow negative energies and experiences to access you. The video got just a few views, not a lot, because people want to know about their next relationship or the one that they're currently in. I posted a video about light workers because light workers have shadow aspects that they need to, it's called know your role. Know your role. Because you could be making terrible decisions as a light worker. It got more views than the shadow, but it's people want to know about the and you're not realizing that you are your biggest danger. You are your number one enemy because you haven't done the work to heal. You haven't connected with yourself to gain the self awareness that says, I fall victim to flattery because I don't get a lot of attention. So as soon as someone charming comes along, they've got my full attention. And not only do they have my attention, but now I am overextending myself to prove to them and to me that I am worth loving, that I am valuable, because I'm really insecure. You have to become aware of yourself, not so that you can hate yourself and be disgusted in yourself. You have to become aware of yourself so that you learn how to love yourself. Hey, I'm insecure and I don't really feel seen or heard. Um, and I attract people and experiences to me that validate that. Because the moment someone pays me, some attention, I'm 100% in, and I make it easy for them, and so they don't value me the way that understand how you yourself get in your own way. Because what we're doing is, my lovelies, is we're blaming it on everyone else. Oh, they're a horrible person. I'm really a good person. I'm sweet. I just want to be loved. Okay, honey, that's fine. We all want to be loved. But we're all very powerful as well. So, are you commissioning through love from a space of self empowerment, or no? Where are you when you're commissioning this love? Are you setting the example for those around you by respecting yourself, valuing yourself, not letting people play games with you, not letting people not make you a priority, leave you for last, being at their beck and call and serving them at their whim? Are you respecting yourself in such a way that people have no choice but to respect you to the same degree and extent? The level of connection that you establish with yourself when you learn how to love yourself is the connection between you and the divine. It is the protection between you and the divine, because the divine protects you because the divine loves you, honors you, and respects you. So, in order for you to meet the divine halfway, you have to love you, honor you, and respect you. It's the only way. So instead of worrying about your ex, your future love, I can tell you right now, without pulling a single tarot or oracle card, who you're going to be in a relationship with next, based on who you are today. I don't need a tarot card. I don't need an oracle card. Based on how I see you loving yourself, honoring yourself, respecting yourself, I can tell you what your next relationship is going to look like just based on that. So, if you want to know what your next relationship is going to look like, look at the relationship you have with yourself. Ta da! You have all your answers now. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to change your internal environment so that it aligns with the relationship that you want? Creating new standards, implementing healthy boundaries, and leaving people with no option but to fall in line. Otherwise, guess where you are? Guess where you are? In the bosom of the divine, nestled tenderly, gently, softly in the divine's love and protection. Because regardless of who is around you, regardless of who is in your life, you will rise. You will make it to the next level and the next level and the next level as you continue to grow and invest in yourself. There's a saying, and I'm going to freestyle it. In other words, it's not verbatim, but it says, women, however, this applies to everyone. Women, be so, again, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it. Be so focused on God that a man has no choice but to go through him to get to you. That is what I am talking about here today. And I'm not just talking about relationships, baby. I'm talking about danger and harm. So that if somebody is doing brujeria on you or trying, because there are the fools who do, there are the fools who will. Okay. What they won't realize, but what you will realize because of how strong your connection is to the divine, is that their beef ain't even with you, baby. Their beef is with the divine. And guess what? I pity the fool. I pity the fool because their trauma, their ego has blinded them to the fact that you are divinely protected. And so they think they're going up against you. You're a nobody, right? You're just this person that they know, that they met at a bar, that they met at school, that they met at the gym, that they met here, that they met there. You're just a person. How harmful can you be? Baby, God don't play about me. And you know why God don't play about me? Because I don't play about me. And God's like, yeah, I respect that. Ha ha. Let's partner up. Let's partner up. And we'll see what they got to say. Let them try. You, my lovelies, just continue to level up, continue to build, continue to listen, continue to become such a light, such a bright light that people can sense you from miles and miles and miles away, and they'll be attracted to you because there are a lot of ships in the night looking for lighthouses. My lovelies, do not let that get to your head. Do not let that get to your head. A lot of people confuse light workers and lighthouses for a plug that they can plug into to recharge like a cell phone. Baby, you're way more powerful than a cell phone. The only thing that can sustain the light within you is you, no one else. But what do people do? They find the light, they plug in. It's not that you can't plug in. You can absolutely plug in. You can absolutely recharge, but you can only get but so far before you have to come back. And guess what? The door may be closed to you because the divine is like, nah, nah, it ain't, that's not how this works. This doesn't work like that. Nah. Yeah. I gave you some so that you can get a taste and you can understand what it feels like and you can understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can test out the product. Take it for a test drive. Do you like it? All right, now this is what you got to do to get it, right? You go to buy a car, you take it for a test drive. They got to run your credit. You better hope you got some. You may have a down payment. You're going to have to sign some paperwork. Everything requires something, right? And all that the divine is asking from you is to work on you. And people think that's hard. People think that's challenging. They look to their left and they look to their right and they look at people who have done the work and they think, oh, they're so lucky. Why do they have it so easy? Baby, don't disrespect me like that. I put in the work. Okay? What happens when you go to the military? Oh, you baby, I wear my scars like a badge of honor. I have dents, dings, scars, and bruises just like you. What I've come to realize is that just like in the military or in the army, in the armed forces, whatever, you know, they get badges when they reach certain levels. Some may be war heroes and get recognition and acknowledgement that way. Those are their dents, dings, scars, cuts, and bruises. Being in that level at that level of stimulation, you're not just getting physically bruised, you're getting mentally bruised. So yeah, you worked for those badges of honor. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Start looking at your scars and your traumas and your pains as badges of honor. You have survived 100% of the things that could have taken you out. Guess what? You've graduated so many times and you don't even understand how blessed you are because you're so focused and blinded by the blessings of the person next to you. And the only difference between you and them is that they fully recognize that they're blessed. That's it. The only difference between you and them is that when the Lord protects them, they take heed. They get a message once, they're just like, oh, that's odd. That billboard, I don't know. Why is it calling my attention? Whatever. Next thing you know, a coworker says something. It could be a coworker you can't stand, but it aligns with the billboard that you saw. And you're like, hmm, hmm. All right. That's not a coincidence. That's a synchronicity. Now I'm just on the alert, head on a swivel. When's the next prompt? Because I don't need more than three. The difference between you and them is that they respect their partnership with the divine. They've learned how to communicate with the universe and the forces that guide and protect them. And they do that because they honor and they value themselves. Stop convincing yourself that you have to work for everyone else's love when you haven't even given it to yourself. Why should they give it to you? Especially when they themselves have their own issues. They're not even in a space or a place to give it to you because they too are not giving it to themselves. My lovelies, the divine is trying. And guess what? The divine is the constant. You are the variable. What are you going to do? Because the divine's going to be here. Because there are plenty of people that are working with the divine. So the divine's constant. What are you going to do? No one did brujeria on you. You just make terrible decisions. You ignore the red flags because society or someone taught you that when you love someone, you may have to take some pain. You ignore the red flags. You're okay, so you finally got the courage to leave your ex, and now you meet someone new who only has 60% of the red flags that your ex showed. So it's getting better, right? Meanwhile, the remaining 40% is just a different set of red flags that are unique to them. Why ignore any of them? Because you will be tested just like in school, just like anywhere else in life. You get a certification, you get a degree, you get a diploma, you get a badge, whatever. You will be tested before you get to the next level. Learn how to recognize the tests as well. The tests always look a little prettier. They're always a little bit gentler. They're always a little bit softer. It can be tricky. My least favorite exams were multiple choices, right? Because what were multiple choice exams? Sometimes the choices were very similar and you're just like, well, I can't tell the difference. Baby, that's what universal tests look like. They're multiple choice because you always have a choice. Says here, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. For those of you who are being tried, for those of you who have done the work, have no fear. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. Shame on anyone who's trying you because, again, their beef isn't even with you anymore. Maybe it was once, maybe it was when you were at a level where you were reachable by them, but you've cut off all your access points to them. You recognize that being lonely sometimes you would accept an invite from someone that really you already know you have no business dealing with just because you're lonely, or someone who's really attractive and charming and great body because maybe you crave physical intimacy. Yes, it takes discipline, absolutely. So don't ever look at someone to your left and your right whose protection is very evident. It stands out because they have, in order to maintain themselves in the shadow of the Almighty, discipline is required from them. They don't have it any easier than you, as a matter of fact. They've gone to battle with their own will. A lot of you won't go up against yourselves. You won't go up against yourselves because there's a certain aspect of you, the shadow side of you, there's a certain aspect of you that you have to go against before you can get to your best self. And a lot of you won't go against yourselves. You settle for short-term temporary pleasures, all of which come with a level of toxicity, with lessons to be learned, with trauma. Fine, you don't want to deprive yourself, then let's do this. Don't deprive yourself. Do you, but stop playing the victim and don't blame the divine. It's your choice. That's why you have free will. The divine's always here. And when you're ready, you'll have the divine's full attention. But if you opt not to, if you opt to look the other way, if you opt to continue to entertain those temporary pleasures and to ignore the signs, the warning, and the protection, fine. Stop playing the victim. Stop blaming everyone from but yourself, I mean. Because guess what? You'll still feel empowered if you know that it's you. Once you identify yourself as the real bandit and the real culprit, you start to take other people's power away from you. Or should I say, your power out of the hands of other people. You start to take your power back. It's not a bad place to start. Not playing the victim is actually a great place to start. Holding yourself accountable, understanding that your choices and your decisions led you to where you are today. It's a great place to start. It may even sneak and creep up on you because the more you feel the power from accountability, the more you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I wonder what happens if I make this decision instead of that one. It's really a great place to start. Collective, I hope these messages have been helpful. If you've made it this far, please forgive me for my preaching, but I definitely went into preacher mode today. It's the way I communicate. It's the way I talk. It's the way I grew up, baby. I grew up with a lot of soul. Okay, I grew up with a lot of inflections and tones and voices. And listen, it's whoo. I call it passion. I don't know what anybody else is gonna call it. I call it passion. Okay. But it is coming from a place of love, just tough love. Because we don't always need that soft, gentle love. Because some of us are hard headed knuckleheads that need a little right there. And remember when your parents, well, I don't know if your parents did this to you, but I probably got one or two of these where they would flick their finger either on your ear or on your head. This is some older generational stuff. Some of you need that today. And that's what I've attempted to do here with you. Collective, I love you. If you have enjoyed these messages, if you have found them healing, empowering, if they just got your attention and you're going to walk away thinking about some of the things that were said here today, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, please check out some of the other videos on my channel. You know, I'm partnering up with the divine. I'm dialing in on the telephone line of spirit before I record any of these videos. So the downloads and the messages that are coming your way are not from me. They're coming from the divine. There's plenty that I'm sure is meant for a lot of you to hear. So definitely take some time to browse my channel, look at some of the messages or the videos, and just tune in. Even if you don't make it to the end, you may tune into the part that's meant for you to hear. Okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and your attention. I don't I don't need it in order to feel whole, but it is truly my pleasure to serve. Okay. All right, collective. So I will talk to you soon. Be back for more because I got more. We got more. When I say we, I mean the divine and I. I'm here to serve the divine and I'm here to serve you. All right. Talk to you soon.